What's good, everybody? What's going on, man? It's Stephen Qualls II, aka Mr. Qualified. It's your boy, and we're back for another episode of the Wright Quality Podcast. So much to talk about. Co-host, please introduce yourselves. I don't know where y'all at on y'all screens, but actually, go first. You always go first. Go first.
Okay. Ashley Wright the first. This is the first time that I've actually been next to you, Steve, since you bring that up. Miguel is at the bottom now. Usually I'm at the bottom.
Interesting.
There. I move my boxes around. I always put y'all two up top. I don't need to look at me. We're good. Be self-centered, egotistical. Miguel.
Still
a good practice.
Miguel, quick question. How Latin League been for you?
Last game, I was a ghost of myself. CP3 against OKC. That's all I'm going to say. For those that know, they know. Had a shot, had multiple shots, and then shot myself in the foot. It was frustrating. But I found a tennis elbow on the DTD list. But other than that, it's a psychological thing. I'm shooting like Markelle Fultz right now. We got it. I just will say that I got entered in a new league. I'll be at South Milwaukee tonight. Non-Latin, probably one of the most racist leagues I've been in South Milwaukee. I do not forget. But Latin League update will come after the Sunday. They have an All-Star game too, so I'll let you know if I get my hat thrown in there. So
an All-Star game,
big news. Oh yeah,
All-Star game for the double league is crazy.
All Puerto Rico.
About to wear my Carlos Arroyo jersey. It's about to be
Bro, all JJ Barea.
I have my JJ Barea jersey too. I have my choice. So I need that Nuggets one, that mellow. But
you know what? I'm not. I will ask this question every week just because
terrible game.
I don't know what story we're going to get.
No, I'm so sorry. Like first game, did my thing. Second game, but just short and no excuses. It's terrible.
Brian. Well, we are coming up on the biggest football game of the year, but we will start with the conference championships. Now, we may be a little bit behind the eight ball on the recap. We know technical difficulties, but y'all still getting this before the Super Bowl. So, Championship Sunday. This is what, a week and a half at the time of this recording since those games. But let's start with the NFC. Thoughts on Lions 49ers. We know that the 49ers eventually won the game and they will be in the Super Bowl. Thoughts on the game?
That game was so juicy. Oh my gosh, it was everything that I wanted it to be. I hate the outcome for the Lions, but it's like it kind of felt good because they were doing too much at halftime and doing too much against a team that had been there before. And so this should be a lesson for, their young players, obviously. Aiden Hutchinson and Jared Goff had been there before, but you could tell they were a little immature, in my opinion, in terms of play and in terms of how they were handling such a comfortable lead going into halftime, or what they thought was comfortable. Then for the 49ers to turn around and win, it was gold for me. But yeah, those are my thoughts on it. I enjoyed it.
Gail, I'm ready for the rant.
No rant.
Sadness.
No sadness. I don't know what's the word. Disdain. No. Worse.
Disappointment.
A series of unfortunate events. It was calamity. What's another fair word to use? Disheartening. We went from one of the blackest Super Bowls we could have ever gotten. It was lining up to be. It was looking good, albeit the Ravens disappointed first. That we'll talk about that. This was like one of those where you could just feel it wasn't the field goal either. It's like, I mean, they made the right gutsy plays. Like Josh Reynolds just has to catch a ball. Like you're a wide receiver. You get paid to do that. It's a crucial fourth down. They miss it. 49ers come down, whop, bang, whatever. But you got to catch that. And I know it's a gutsy play, but to make it to the Super Bowl, you got to make some gutsy plays. And I'm sorry, Josh Reynolds just has to catch that. But God, he gets away with it again. Putting his white supremacy on it, putting his
So
God, how does he do it every week? If he does it again, this month is canceled. They already had them saying that Travis Kelce created the fade and that, oh my God, they've been torturing us.
Swagster.
They've been absolutely killing us. Like, oh my God, they're testing us. It's like when they said Kim K made box braids, and then her sister made Bantu knots. The kids are behind there. I have to be careful for the kids. God, it's bad though. I hate it. It was dope. It was dope for a second. I was about to say V's was about to drop a surprise tape. They're about to drop the Super Bowl tape.
you have to let this go. This
Man,
I feel like you're more upset about what you aren't getting from the
Yes.
city of Detroit.
Usher was about to be at halftime. Like the memes, like it was about to be the blackening. It was about to be a coming together of where we're like, we don't even really care about football. Like I don't think that's really, like, yeah, but basketball is it. Like, it's like, what do you want to be a basketball player? No one's like, I want to get CTE and be gone by 50. No one has that dream. No one wants to watch this. It's really a vile sport if we're being quite truly honest. It's being harder and harder to watch every day. And I'm a UFC fan, but it would be nice to see some black brothers out there just balling some early trash talking when it's halftime. Why? This is to go to the Super Bowl. Don't do it. You have a Bosa man on the other side. Don't poke them. It was, yeah. Just, it was, I was watching it with bated breath. Right when they got that first touchdown after halftime, I'm like, it's wraps.
Yeah.
The tide had turned.
Yeah, no, you felt it when watching because I remember. I don't think I watched from the beginning, but I think I started maybe toward the end of the first quarter or definitely in the second, and I was kind of shocked that Detroit was playing so well. Not shocked, but more so like I don't trust this. I don't think this last the entire
like
game.
driving through a sundown town.
Yes, I, oddly accurate, but yes, that
something was afoot.
Something
like, drive faster.
something was afoot. But would you all consider it is it a collapse or did the ball just not kind of roll in their favor? Because like you said, I don't think, and I know that Dan Campbell's decisions became, a large conversation, but he's been that kind of coach his entire coaching career. Those gutsy plays got them to where they even were at that point in the season. So I don't think that you go against your calling card just because you're in an NFC championship game. But are you all looking at it as the Lions collapsed in this game, or are you all looking at it as San Francisco just put together a great half and they just got more things in their favor than Detroit did?
I think we all knew San Fran was the better team. And like you said, Steve, I think, and I agree with you, and I think more people would agree with us too that watched this. You couldn't really trust how good the Lions were playing. It was like you were holding your breath the entire time because like either an implosion is coming or the 49ers remember who they are after halftime. And it was the latter. So I think they really just honed in on, knowing like we're the better team. Let's go out here. Let's finish this, especially at home, and get to another Super Bowl. So I think it was just more so the 49ers really getting their game plan together rather than Detroit imploding.
Yeah, I agree.
That's true. Yeah, I would say it's 30 years of pain. Like they're the Lions. Like, and not to say that like this was inevitable, but I wouldn't say that it's a collapse given the circumstances and the makeup of this team. Like it was a miracle. Like they were like, we made the playoffs. Like, so I can't say that, this is some like, oh my God, like if the 49ers lost, that's more of a collapse on their part, whether or not, the game was close or not, because they had these lofty expectations what the year is supposed to be. I think the Lions being there was more so of like a kudos. Shouldn't be here, but we're there and make the most of it. And they could have made a Super Bowl out of it. Then, you were flying high if you're a Lions fan. Granted, their tickets next year are astronomical, I think you can't really blame them for it. They're a young team. They're going to be there again at some point, barring they see us. But
So interesting you bring that up. A lot, I think Dan Campbell said it, and I feel like a lot of sports heads feel the same way. Of course, in general, it's extremely difficult to get back. Like, not many teams, unless you're Kansas City Chiefs, really go to the conference championship game every season. Just how difficult do y'all think it'll be for Detroit to get back to this place? I'm assuming they're retaining a decent amount of their talent. I don't think like the talent that they do have is a fluke. But what with higher expectations potentially, and with more people more so looking at them and scheduling that date, on the calendar versus not expecting them to be as good as they were this season, how difficult could it be for them to really get back to this place or to be a true contender next season?
Yeah, I don't even think they were a true contender in many people's eyes this season, to be
Yeah,
honest with you.
fair,
So,
fair.
like you said, next season, when a lot more people have grown accustomed to what they like to do throughout the season, it does become increasingly difficult. I do see them, getting back to the playoffs, but this deep of a run, conference championship, when obviously a Philly team didn't play its best, that matchup would have been Philly versus Detroit. It could have gone, totally different. So, this deep, I would be very surprised if they got this deep again. But I can see them getting back to the playoffs.
yeah, I can see them cracking the playoffs again too. This deep, it's a crapshoot year after year. It's health. I do think that they have the best chance in terms of like coming out of the best conference. Like they probably the best chance to come out of a wild card out of any other team that's in the NFC, just based on how strong the NFC is, the NFC North is year after year. So I'd say they have that in their favor, but stand 10 toes on it. Still go to the Packers. I know they made it further, and they gave them just as good of a shot as we did, but
They did.
we did more with less. So I still have my money on us.
Yeah, that's real.
I'm gonna take all the way.
Definitely still taking the Packers out the North always, every season. But yeah, so that was the NFC. AFC game. Okay. I don't know where to start. First off, let's just start with my disappointment in the Ravens in general. Every Raven except for Lamar Jackson, for the most part. Except for Lamar not choosing to run the ball more, when clearly that was the only thing that was pretty much working.
That Isaiah, who's Isaiah likely raising his hand like? Are you Moss? You have 3 dudes on you, and you put it straight up in there like you were like, I got this. What? I mean, granted, Lamar's got to be smart and not throw that, but
well, yes,
sir.
So outside of, I don't even know what to call that with the Ravens. I don't know if that's considered a collapse, but I will tell you what I think is the story of this game. And I hate to do it. Great young player. I'm sure he'll have a great career. I do think the story of this game does come down to that single drive.
Dave Flowers. The fumble.
I think it's before it's everything about the drive. So you get the big play, right? And then he gets the it was taunting? It was taunting.
Yeah.
That knocks.
But then Travis Kelce does that
I get it. I get that Kelce does it. But one, let's not act like, it has to be smarter. I don't feel like it's fair, but for Kelce to be a vet and for Kelce, like,
leaves a bad taste.
You can't make a logical case for it, but just going off of how we know the league kind of operates, he's a vet. He got away with everything else in the game. That too, like he got away with everything else. Whether it be like messing with Justin Tucker, begin the game, whatever the case was, right? Yeah. He gets away with all this, so it sucks. But that's what we come to expect. Zay Flowers has to know in that situation, there's more important things than letting you know I'm him in that particular moment. Y'all are down. We're trying to get a touchdown.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all I'm worried about is next play so we can get into the end zone, right? So the taunting penalty, more importantly, cost him 15. You got to remember, I think he caught it and he was down. That had to be between the 10 and the 15, maybe. Mm-hmm. Like they were going to be about first and goal, just about. But getting knocked back 15, okay, so now you're working from about the 25, whatever the case may be. Makes another amazing play. And I get it. I get why he would extend, right? You trying to get the touchdown.
A phenomenal punch, perfectly timed punch.
Perfect defensive play. A great defensive play.
Especially the play after you've been taunted. So
right. So, and it was such a tough play, but then just watching the replay, it's like that's just a great defensive play. And Casey's defense has been doing that, all postseason. So losing the ball there, but then also on the sideline, hurting his hand to the point where he could not return to the game, with a significant amount of time left. It just seemed like, if nothing else, that was what truly kind of depleted the Ravens in that moment. Like, all momentum they may have had in keeping that a game and making it a game and staying in striking distance got killed right there. And there was a lot more. Like, there's a story of the Ravens offense. There's a story of, the game that Kelce had. And so there's other factors. But I think for me, just watching, and that was a game I watched actually from start to finish. And so that drive, I think, changed everything for the Ravens season in that moment, But overall, thoughts on the game, thoughts on Zay Flowers, thoughts on everything AFC Championship game.
Yeah, no, it was a really good game, in my opinion. The way both teams came out, you just knew that this was about to be really good. I do agree with what you said about Zay Flowers. Even if you want to get up after that play before making it into the end zone and, let out a yell, whatever, it was you throwing the ball at the man that was really kind of like the icing on the cake. So like when people bring up Travis Kelce was doing it, like, that's true, but he didn't, like, I just feel like Zay went an extra step once he tossed the ball at L'Jarius Sneed. But rookie mistakes, like, again, immaturity from a player that hadn't been there before, maybe, isn't used to that light. I agree, Steve. I think, prior to getting into the end zone, the last thing you need to be worried about is your celebration. Like, come on, next play. And then like throwing the helmet on the sideline, cutting his hand, all of that did, I'm sure, play factors. But the main thing for me was not running the ball. Obviously, it worked. There was a play, I want to say, in the second half that Lamar Jackson did convert. But I'm sure had he run that ball, I forget the play, but I'm sure had he run the ball, he would have gotten way more yards. So it's like they tried to, I don't know, he seemed like he was in his head as far as running versus passing versus when to release. He was late on a couple throws that turned into interceptions. So all around, the Ravens seemed kind of off key. And that's not the type of game you obviously want to go into where you're not, I guess, 100% playing the football that you've been playing throughout the season. But really, yeah, the run game for me is what stood out, or lack thereof.
Yeah, agreed. Gail?
Pain, misery. Misery was the one when I was watching this one. I knew the script was in. Zay Flowers read that thing. He said, I got to fumble where, coach? I got to drop this right here. Oh, man. Yeah, we got to see Taylor Swift in the Super Bowl. We can kind of see it coming. Roger Goodell was not going to miss this opportunity. You got Swifties on the line. Hey, take the money line on the Chiefs. They have like the big three going for them. It was like, I think they've never lost when the moon is in whatever stage that it's in. They're like 12-1 on when the moon is at like this certain like cycle. I'm just going off what I've seen on Twitter. Taylor Swift is backing Travis Kelce. There's that. And then there was one more. There's one more where it's like
the 13 theory. I saw it earlier today. It's a 13 theory that got to deal with Taylor Swift. I don't know how much sense it make. Apparently, it was on TikTok, but I believe it all. I believe
she's got her 4th album of the year. It's all up. They're starting this month off terrible, guys. Like I said, granted, Patrick Mahomes, he will represent us at the Super Bowl. We will get it done. But man, I think I don't want to blame anyone besides like the people that are on the field, but it looked like Lamar was just caught up with the narratives. Like, why aren't you running the ball? Is it because they've called you a running back? Are you trying to prove that you
Mm-hmm.
could beat someone in a certain way because they've said all this stuff? I'm like, it was like, to take it to another sport, Kevin Holland was fighting Wonder Boy, and then he had a chance to choke him out, and he's like, no, I want to fight you all on the feet. I'm like, bro, just beat him. Like, you can do it. You can do it how you know how. You don't have to be this honorable man to be like, look, I showed you I can beat you. Stand up because you're one of the greatest stand-up fighters that there is. No, if you got the win, get the win. You could run him off the field and show why you're just as good because you can pass just as well out of the pocket and you can be like Mike Vick, like 3.0 with an actual arm. Like, it was frustrating to watch. It was like, this is the first, like, this reminded me of the Packers when like 2-3 years back, Aaron Rodgers finally had a defense, and then he doesn't show up. I'm like, bro, like, come on. Like, we've been saying, like, oh, you've been sick, you haven't really had the chance. Huntley did it last time. Like, this was your chance, and against a guy that has the Midas touch, and had it again. MVS catches a ball late game. When did he ever do that? I saw him on the Packers. I know what he's
Yeah.
about. When
Yeah,
does he ever catch the deep ball?
yeah.
That was the whole point.
He never did
Like,
that for Green Bay. That never happened for
and
Green Bay.
he said, catch. It hurts. It hurts. It all hurts. This is going to be a fun Super Bowl for halftime commercials and JJ's fish and chicken. That's about all I got for it. I'm about to get the 100 platter extra sazon, papi. Extra of that crack on top. I need it. I need something to subdue the senses. I don't want to see what I'm seeing. If Brock Purdy's winning, it's gonna look like Trump election 2016.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna go to Fox News. They're gonna have the parade on early.
Who are y'all taking in the Super Bowl? Chiefs or Niners?
Whoever Taylor Swift is cheering for.
Chiefs.
It's hard to root against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, to be honest, given their track record. Now, granted, they did lose. No, they didn't. No, they beat the Niners the first time.
Yep.
That's the Tampa Bay.
They lost to Tampa,
yeah. I just think when it comes down to X factors, like, I just think Patrick Mahomes is the biggest X factor, and I think he's probably. I mean, that's hard. There's a lot of talent on San Francisco, so I don't know. But maybe the X factor is really McCaffrey. I'm not sure. Maybe that's the X factor, because if he has a big game, then maybe that changes things. I don't know. But I can't confidently pick the 49ers, nor do I want to. I don't really want to pick the Chiefs either, but if I was picking between these two teams, it would be KC. I do think that I think they'll come out on top. I assume it'll be a good game. I hope it is. I hope it's not a dud, to be honest. But kind of hard to tell. I don't know. With both of these teams, it's kind of hard to tell when they'll show up, or when within the game they'll be the best version of themselves, and if the other team can take advantage of that either. So I don't know. But if I had to make a pick, gun in my head, Chiefs. That's what I would be selecting.
I'm not voting.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, continue. No, say your piece.
No, I was just gonna say I don't know why I'm 100% certain the Chiefs will win. Actually, I feel like the Chiefs defense will give Brock Purdy fits, and he will be exposed in the Super Bowl on the grandest stage of them all. Congratulations, Miguel. You have won. You have won the Brock Purdy hate train.
Please.
I truly feel that. Like, if honestly, and I'm not saying this because I think the Niners suck. I'm saying this because I think the Chiefs are that much better. I would be very shocked if the Niners won that game. Very shocked. Like, almost the Lions getting to the Super Bowl and beating the Chiefs shocked. Like, that shocked.
So was Purdy's performance in the championship game, because he looked much better against Detroit than he did against us. I can admit that. Not that he looked great, but he looked much better. Is that performance still, I know how Miguel feels, but Ashley, do you think that performance was a fluke? Because I mean, he made plays at the end of that game.
And I'm not taking away from his talent. I do think that he's a talented quarterback, but I think he falls under game manager. Like, he doesn't make the difference to me. That's Christian McCaffrey. That's not Brock Purdy. So, like you said, if Christian is on a roll, then it's a different game. I still feel like the Chiefs come out on top, but Brock Purdy is the one throwing the ball. So it makes it tougher, I guess, for San Francisco to truly get over that hump.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Gail, I mean, I know how you feel about
No,
Brock Purdy.
I'll answer the first question. I'll get to that. This is the election year Super Bowl. This is the lesser of two evils Super Bowl. I will reluctantly vote for the Kansas City Chiefs, albeit I have my qualms with them. I'm betting the over on Taylor Swift's screen time of whatever the total is.
Wait, what's the
I'm sure it's. I think the math is that the most she's been shown is 30 seconds, but on average, it's like 15. I'm taking the over in the Super Bowl, though. She just said they're a 4-time album of the year winning. I'm going the over.
Over
And then
30 seconds? That's a long
It's a
time.
it's a
long
long
time.
time. It's a long time.
Well, I mean, she's definitely going. I think she's going to be in a
They're
commercial.
going to show her dancing the usher. They're not going to show the choreo. They're not going to show my man breaking it down and all that good stuff. They're going to show her hitting her little diddy bop with her homies.
Her swag, sir.
Swagless.
Did you just say her Diddy Bop?
Hey now, anywho, yeah, I think the Chiefs. I mean, they just got it all. They got all the sauce. They got TikTok on their side with Jackson Mahomes. They got Swifties, Stanley Cups. There's just two great of forces. Roger Goodell will not. There will be a revolt. Like Swifties might have a town run amok, a couple, if they don't see their queen happy. So, yeah, I have to root for the 40 Chiefs. Like I said, I don't even want to vote this year. I don't want to. This feels like Tom Brady in the Super Bowl when I had to sit there and watch Russell Wilson throw a pick into the end zone and just sit there. I'm like, this was an awful watch. I didn't enjoy this. I see Marshawn Lynch on the side, sad, and Richard Sherman. I don't want to see that again. That was scarring. That was like right in the heart of it too. Yeah, go football.
But yeah, the big game should be interesting. Not gonna lie, I'm watching for Usher at this point, but still the biggest game of football of the year. We will transition to the NBA and we will talk about All-Star Weekend. We have our All-Star starters and we have our All-Star reserves.
Let's go.
Now, I'm not sure if the people saw it, but we did discuss who we thought the starters were going to be. And I want to say for the most part, we were pretty accurate. I think the only person we didn't guess I know for me, the only starter I didn't guess was Dame.
Yeah, we didn't.
And listen, I feel like I'm the most unbiased Bucks fan you're going to talk to. I'm not gonna lie. Miguel is pretty biased. I won't hold you.
Wait, hold on. Wait. I said that although I think Jalen Brunson did deserve it, I said that Dame was going to be the starter
because of the fan vote. Yes, which makes sense.
But I did think that Jalen Brunson, if there's anyone that wasn't named Dame, he should have been a starter.
Yeah, fair. So Dame gets to start, and honestly, that's just because the East isn't from a popular perspective. The East doesn't have a lot of popular guards amongst like all NBA fans. So Dame, the fan vote really, really pushed him. But I think it was very clear that players and coaches and people around the league, noticed that starting spot was somebody else's spot, if we're going to be honest. But nonetheless, right? Starters, I don't think that anybody can be upset about that. LeBron's playing his 20th straight All-Star game. That's crazy. I just want to throw that out there. That's pretty wild. But let's get into the reserves.
Face of the league.
Yeah, which I mean he shouldn't. That's another conversation for another day. Eastern Conference reserves. Bam Adebayo, Paolo Banchero, Jalen Brown, Jalen Brunson, Tyrese Maxey, Donovan Mitchell, and Julius Randle. Were there any snubs from the Eastern Conference?
People had a lot to say about Trey not making it. I mean, he's in there now,
Right.
but I didn't think that there were any snubs.
Where's the face of the league? You're telling me Julius Randle spot over the face of the league? He's gonna get all the calls one day. You know that, right?
I hope not. But let's talk about Trey for a second. So when y'all hear the case for Trey, do y'all agree? I mean, do y'all feel like the numbers and the arguments that people make sense? Or because I know for me personally, I get the argument of the numbers and what he's doing. I don't know how much of it is about the team performance. I know that kind of plays a role. And I guess you could argue that if the numbers are great, but it's not translating the team success, I understand that argument, but then I guess I also understand where for the All-Star game, it's kind of tough to put team success into that mixer because if that game's supposed to be for the best players, then just let it be for the best players. Because if you get an All-Star game, cool, but I mean, it ain't like your team about to make the playoffs. You're not about to get no serious hardware anyway. But I think the Trey argument is really, really interesting. Miguel, you have your hand raised. So,
oh yeah, I was ready. Steph, should he be in it?
as a starter,
if that same argument is applied, records are eerily similar, and it's like, ew, nasty, Trey Young, your record's terrible, and Steph is like, it's okay, honey, you go along.
But let's talk about the competition in each respective conference. The Hawks should not be where they are with an easier conference. Also, the storylines surrounding the Warriors. Yes, Steve, it should be better. The storyline surrounding the Warriors being without Draymond, who is still a key piece, although, he's a little older. Clay is not the same Clay, but Steph has remained Stephen Curry. And if you look at how they've been losing, it hasn't been, they've had their blowouts, whatever, but that game against the Lakers recently, or other games like that, they've come close.
The game against Atlanta, where Steph drops 60 and they lose. So yeah,
and DeJounte came in and I think he sent it to overtime. But yeah, like games like that. So I think I hear the argument, but I don't think it's a fair argument.
No, I understand. I'm just, throwing it out into the ether. I see the comp on Twitter, and I'm like, I do think that's interesting. And I do think, Steph is Steph. Trey is Steph Light trying to be emulating. So it's like, it's not like it's the same player at the end of the day. One has 4 rings, one doesn't. It's not like Kyrie either, where it's like he's played 6 games, so like, why would he be in there either? I get that we want to see certain players, but it's like, at the end of the day, I'm not going to give it to a guy that hasn't been here. I'm like, I'm going to give it to the guy that's shown up.
How do y'all feel about Scotty Barnes being a replacement?
That was the other player. I was just about to ask who the other player was. I
representing all of Canada. Shouts out.
I get it. I don't know. I can't think of another name off the top of my head that I would put before him at this point.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think that's truly it. I just think that in the East you run out of names. It's gonna be tough. Yeah. Like that All-Star game not gonna be looking like an All-Star game, we look like a shellacking.
Yeah. And but I mean also Scotty's been having a really good year. And he's obviously gonna be the focal point of whatever Toronto decides to do with whatever their roster will look like at the end of this season. So I think that's rewarding. I think that's rightfully earned as a replacement for Scotty. Yeah. But yeah, Trey and Scotty as replacements. Have they said who's going to replace Embiid in the starting lineup?
Oh, so is there going to be another? Oh wait, no.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Slide Jalen in there, and then have Giannis run center, Tatum run 4. Who's the shooting guard?
Dame, technically.
Dame, yeah.
Oh, I slide Halliburton to the 3, Dame to the 2, Jalen to the 1. Let's have some fun. Let's run and gun. Let's run and gun. Tyrese is low key the one of that. Have Dame sprint corner, Jalen go early posts. I'm down for it. Doc, give me. I know. It's been like 2 days.
That's crazy.
Need help.
Let's
Doc is the coach.
That's wild. How does that
That's
even
hilarious.
happen?
So
Because
the
Missoula.
coach with the best record, yeah, Missoula can't coach back-to-back All-Star games.
Oh.
It's
and then
a
it goes
rule
to the next best
against.
record.
Yeah, so it goes to the next best record, which is technically the Bucks. So
Wait, so is it always best record to get head coach?
the question, I guess so, based on how it was explained that Doc got it.
Yep. We were the second best team at the time. So they're like, Doc Rivers, here you go. He's gonna be sitting over there like this.
Adrian Griffin was going to be coaching an All-Star game?
Yeah, he's about to lose the locker room in the All-Star game.
Hey, another pod, bro. Another pod. We'll get deep into that. Another pod. But Western Conference reserves. Devin Booker, Stephen Curry, Anthony Davis, Anthony Edwards, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and Karl Anthony Towns.
It's a lot of Anthony's, baby.
It is a lot of Anthony's. Any
Where's Melo?
snubs? Any snubs out west?
Who did we leave off the All-Star roster? Oh, okay. I remember when we had this discussion, we knew that someone from the Clippers would not make it. Obviously, James is the one that did not.
Yeah, and I think we were debating like who it is in the Timberwolves organization. I think Cat was definitely the shinier option, but like, their defense is their defense. So
Yeah.
like, I was like, is it Gobert? But yeah, Cat.
I mean, I think for the All-Star game, Cat makes more sense. I'm
Yes.
trying to think out west. I don't know. Like the West, of course, is always more competitive in regards to, guys being able to get these spots.
I would like Wemby to have a spot, preferably, personally.
So what was Wemby a snub? Did Wemby get snubbed?
I think the team is awful. The team is dreadful. Like, is Cade Cunningham an all-star? Like skill, talent. He's a great player, but the team is terrible. I think it'd be a shame if anyone from any of those teams made anything. A skills competition. Do not let them in.
Isn't he in the skills
Wemby
competition?
is in the skills competition.
Yeah.
Wemby is. That is fun, though. Like, I'll take that. Like,
Yeah, I think
are they doing the Rising Stars, or are they doing the World Game again?
Yeah, I think he's in Rising Stars
I
too.
cannot wait. That's truly the game I'm looking forward to. Like, USA World, Wemby, Chet. This is the time. This is the time. Those are my favorite games growing up. That's going to be the one I'm really like tuned into because they play hard in that. I remember the Tim Hardaway, Deion Waiters.
Did Jaylen Brown actually commit to the dunk contest?
I don't know if he officially committed, but the lineup
He does a left-handed dunk.
Anyway, the lineup of proposed players for the dunk contest does not excite me this year.
So
really?
So Mac McClung, Jaylen Brown,
Toppin's brother, I forget his first.
brother, yeah, Jacob.
Not
Toppin.
even Obi. We can't even get Obi Toppin.
So that was he's done it and lost. So maybe they thought the little brother might have a better chance. I don't know. And Jaquez. Yeah, Junior.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not thrilled about Jaylen Brown being in the dunk contest. Not because I don't think that like he could be good. I don't know. I don't expect him to really pull nothing out of his bag. Like I just don't. I don't know. Like he's athletic. Like he can jump. Like he could probably put something together. But I don't know. I'm just kind of like.
He could give us a PowerPoint presentation before his dunk. He's about to be giving us historical stats on Black History Month before he does his dunk. He's like, if you look here, PowerPoint presentations.
It's stupid. But I don't know. I mean, the dunk contest has also been mainly underwhelming for a few years now. So there's no telling. But I don't know. Maybe they'll bring something different. Maybe this is the year things change. Who knows? I don't know. But yeah, it just doesn't move the needle for me. Not excited.
There's no more Jay Riches, no more D
Yeah.
Masons, no
Yeah.
more, Sean Kemp's. Like, there's no more guys, Jeremy Evans. I remember they're like, who's Jeremy Evans? I miss Jeremy Evans. Like, bring me some guys who's about to dunk something. Like, I know Mac
Right.
McClung,
Where are the high
like,
flyers? Where are all the high flyers? Like
they're
the
too pretty now.
dudes,
We got
dudes
guys
that,
that just, slot it in. They just
the
Mm-hmm.
dudes that are catching lobs like off those back cuts from the corner. Those are the
Mm-hmm.
dudes that I want in the dunk contest.
they don't play enough defense to be in the NBA. Derrick Jones Jr., last of a dying breed. That man's like a bird.
Facts, no, for real.
Light bones, 6'8".
You know who I would like to see in the dunk contest?
Shaden Sharp. Where's Shaden Sharp?
Shaden Sharp, Brandon Miller also could do the dunk contest.
Like truly, all you need is Mac McClung,
Jalen
Shaden Sharp,
Green.
Brandon Miller, Jalen Green.
Yeah,
Man, that four, and those aren't even like superstars. Bron's been ducking. I want Bron to do it when he's 45. I want him to be the
Really,
oldest dunk competition
that
participant.
would be the only thing that I truly just can't stand Braun for is never giving us a dunk contest.
All he needs is 4 Bron-esque dunks. He could bring out some old corny dad dunks. He could do a bounce under his leg as he jumps and rapid dunk. And we might not have ever seen that before either. But it'd still be impressive.
my thing is Bron had no, especially in his prime, them last years in Cleveland, Bron had no absolute reason to not do the dunk contest. I won't even say his last years in Cleveland and the first stint. But Miami. But I'm saying even in his first, when he was on a rookie contract, his first 3 or 4 years in the league, there was absolutely no reason that he wasn't forced to do a dunk contest. I would have said, no, you doing the dunk contest, bro. Sorry.
4 dunks that are just progressively further from the rim. That's all. He could have done a straight line. I'm gonna do it every time. People are like, wow, he's jumping so high. Then throw Mike James in there. Throw him a lob. Wow.
Start
He
from a
jumped over
charge.
Mike James.
Hey, no, yeah, you went back with Mike James. That's hilarious.
Man.
But yeah, but overall, I think that as far as the reserves for the Western Conference, though, I'm not mad. I know people try to make the argument that Steph's not starting. I'm like, let's be real, guys. Let's be honest. Steph is
an MVP candidate.
You know what I'm saying? Like Steph is Steph. Nobody's taking away that Steph is Steph. But if we looking at the rest of the league, bro, it's people are here. Like people have arrived, bro. This is no longer undeniably Steph's league. Like it's just not. You know what I'm saying? So Steph not starting in an All-Star game, I don't think is any type of knock or indictment on him, nor should it be looked at like, oh, why is Shea starting? Have you seen what Shea is doing? Actually, like it makes complete sense why he's starting. Like the same with Luka. Like they're both up there in that conversation in terms of best point guards in the league, best point guards in the West, whatever conversation you want to have right now, they there. So, I mean, but that's just people not wanting to realize the new generation is pretty much is here. It's pretty much here. So yeah, but that's pretty much that's all All-Star game stuff. Are y'all excited for All-Star weekend? Like, do y'all still get excited for it, or is it just more so like it's just a part of the season at this point?
Yeah, I don't get excited. I do tune in, Brett not. I do tune in, but I don't expect anything. That makes sense.
That's fair.
It's not as bad as the Pro Bowl.
Oh man, that was more. I was enjoying it when it was on silent at the bar that I was at. They had mini games throughout flag football. I'm glad they turned to flag football. Like, saw Jason Kelce on a sled. It was.
They looked like they were having a blast. Honestly,
I was like, I kind of want to be there.
Yes, I can't be too mad at it.
I'm just waiting for when we get our team in the Celebrity All-Star game. I'm waiting for when we get our shot to, be comp to Kevin Hart, 2-time Celebrity All-Star game MVP. I see Kai's going to be on there. I'm like, well, okay, when we get our call, then I'll pay attention to the NBA All-Star game. But until then, it sucks. And you should call us to make it a lot better. I see 2 coaches up above me, and I see a super sub down below. That's just going to be, diming
Not a
Celine
super.
Diaz, and whatever watch
All had him.
celebrities you need there. I'm be passing it to Jordan Peele in the corner, and then
Hey,
take a charge on Ice Spice. It'll be a great
Oh
time.
my
It'll be a great day.
gosh.
Anyways, um, the
Wow.
All-Star game is great. I think I do tune in. I got a little American brain that's like consumerism, nice. Stars, shiny things, great. Dunks, 3-pointers. I think the best part's gonna be Sabrina versus Steph. I think the 3-point
Yeah.
competition is dethroned. The dunk competition is like the thing that we go to watch. Like, we've had the best shooters that we've ever seen cross through the NBA at this time. So I think it's made for the best comp, and people are afraid to go and dunk and look dumb. So I think it's just less risk. Like if you're the last place in a 3-point competition, no one's remembering because Steph dropped 28 in the last rack, and they're like, damn, that's tough. They're not worried about like, damn, Malik Beasley couldn't hit shit. So, I think that's gonna be the one thing out of it. The All-Star game is the All-Star game. It gets good in the last 2 minutes, but what NBA game doesn't?
So is it just Sabrina versus Steph? Like no one else is in the 3-point
No,
shot?
they're doing that
I
too.
think that's a
People are
separate
tripping
thing.
about
Oh,
yeah.
okay, cool.
People are tripping about Grayson Allen not being in it right now, which
Uh,
I
yeah,
think he should be. He's been,
It should
yeah,
be.
he's
but
number one right now.
I think he would probably win it. Like Malik Beasley deserves to be in it, but I think he's got too much of a jump shot. Like for a 3-point competition, Grayson is pretty compact. It's quick. I think he would dominate low key.
Yeah, I think Malik would struggle just because of I don't know how he is picking the ball off the rack and shooting.
He's been hitting some tough ones. Some I seen in game, he'll catch at his feet, and he's still like, all right, I'm going up. He doesn't see shots that he doesn't like, similar to Jr. But he's been hot. He's been
That's
hot.
crazy. But there is also some news out of the W. You know what I'm saying? Actually can shed a little bit more insight, but I do know that Skylar Diggins Smith, right? It is a hyphen name, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, Skylar, she signed with Seattle. Has she because she when she left Phoenix, I know that wasn't necessarily on the best of terms. Has she been playing anywhere else in between now? No? Okay.
No, so she was still signed with the Mercury all last season. Didn't play, and now is in Seattle, fresh start. And joining her in Seattle is Nneka Ogwumike, who signed from the Sparks. So that's a lot of talk about a new super team, if you will, in Seattle. Both of those two are joining Jewel Lloyd, who is one of the premier guards in the W. So it will be interesting to see what the Storm is able to do, especially, with the history that they've had with Sue Bird and Brianna Stewart being there. So now it's kind of a new era up there in Seattle. We'll see what's able to come from that.
Yeah. So a move like this, how does it affect the landscape of the W? Because I don't have the one thing I know players, but I don't know the landscape of the league in regards to which teams are your premier teams and like how these moves kind of shake up. Because there conferences in the
Yeah,
W?
so it's an
Okay.
Eastern and a Western
Okay.
Conference. But now I would say this move, this move is solidifying the W entering its super team era. Really, it was just superstars on, different teams throughout the league. But now you've got the Aces. Now Seattle is scary. Now the Liberty is considered a super team. You had Natasha Cloud sign with the Mercury, who's an up and
Mercury, and
coming
they just
team.
got Kalea Cooper.
Yeah, Kalia Cooper is now down in Phoenix. So it's
She was with the
becoming.
Scott. Is that who
She
was
was
with
with the Sky.
Sky? Okay.
Yep, she
Yeah.
was with the Sky. Yep. So it's becoming more so of a super team league, and that's exciting because it seems like the competition is leveling out, and the Aces probably won't have that straight path that they've had in years past.
And just comp in general, like seeing the girls coming up through the college ranks too is only going to get better. Like, and test you. Like, I mean, we saw what happened last year in NCAA college women's ball. So now it's like once they get there too, it's just like we're opening the floodgates. It's getting fun.
Juicy.
Mentioning that though, this if all the names that I'm thinking about are entering the draft this year for the W, That's a lot of talent. I don't know the history of drafts in the past, but from my little bit of knowledge, it seemed like this might be one of the deepest drafts for the W because Caitlin's coming out this year.
Yes.
I'm assuming Paige is going to come out this year too.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Angel is coming out.
She has a choice. She could opt back into college for her 5th year, but assuming she comes out, yeah.
Same with
Hey,
Van.
Haley, right?
yeah.
But
Van
she's a
Lith.
senior, right?
I was
She's
gonna say that
coming
was
out.
Van. Yeah.
She's
Okay.
coming out. She's a grad. Yeah. So she's coming.
Ooh. Yeah, this is gonna be some parody. Talking about parody in the NBA, parody in the
Hey,
WNBA.
yeah. No,
It's fun.
out in college. I'm not gonna lie. I think I'm a little bit more excited for women's March Madness than I am men's.
Yes, because we saw last year was better.
Yeah, yeah. I'm wholehearted. Like, yeah. Let's get
Like dudes be playing sloppy ball. Like it's just
man.
Euro turnover. Like, come slow down. Like they got some sets. Like boys just be running with their heads cut off. They're like, it's March Madness. Like the girls are like, all right, let's get into what we need to get to where we need to go. It's a lot of G's right there.
Trivia question to wrap everything up. How many years in a row was Jordan first in scoring?
Great question.
Does it count the years that he was gone?
No.
So it's separated after that.
Yes. So you can go with the first stint if that makes it easier.
Four.
7.
Y'all.
What?
Was it all 13 years? Wait. So the separation doesn't stop.
So
would it be all 13 then? Are you
it's not all 13. So he had his rookie year, and if I'm not
so you're saying years total that when he was in the league.
Well, no, I'm saying in a row, still in a
row.
Oh,
Okay.
But his rookie year, I want to say he was like third. Second year, broke his foot. From his third year
Jesus
to the end of the first three-peat,
95, yeah.
He's first in scoring. And I'm talking about most of them by at least 6 or 7 points. Not to mention the highest point per game average in league history is Jordan at 37.1.
Why do we have the GOAT conversation? Why?
And that was in his third year. So what got me there was first I started looking at Giannis because Giannis is currently in year 6 of being at least in the top 5 of like scoring leaders. I think this might be year 7, but like for 6 years straight, he's been at least 5. Like I think he's been like either like 5 or 3 or 2 or something like that. So that's 6. So then I looked at Bron, and so for the entirety of Bron's career, Bron's in year 21?
Yep.
At least 17 of those years, he was top 5. In the years that he wasn't, he was either injured. Yeah, he was injured or didn't play like enough games that season. I think he maybe had one where he was like 8th, but that was like
that had to be the hardest
years in Cleveland, early years of LA. And there was one year where I think the first year in LA, like he had that groin injury at Christmas and virtually didn't play the rest of the season. With his point per game average in the games he played, he would have been 4th. Nuts. I was just like, bro, this is this is crazy. But no, Jordan, I was going through and I'm like, I was just on NBA website each year. Jordan. I'm talking about average like 37, 35, 33, 32, 33, 31, 30, 29, 30. Like,
it's nuts.
What?
Yeah.
It's so actually to answer your question, I don't really know why we have the GOAT conversation. To be honest, people have their opinions. You know what I'm saying? But I think, and with Bron approaching 40,000 points, I think that it says a lot that I think Jordan missing those 2 years really is what opens up the conversation.
That's true.
Because if Jordan don't miss those years,
imagine 2 more years of 30 plus scoring.
Imagine 8 rings.
I'm saying like, now I don't like that Houston team was good. Don't get me wrong. But I mean, Akeem really seemed like he the one superstar that lucked up and was able to get him to, because when you talk about all them stars from the 90s that don't got a ring because of Jordan.
Yes.
Terrible.
Like Isaiah and Akeem. That's it. That's it. So
terrible. Crazy. Terrible worse.
But yes, that is it for this episode. The next episode, we will absolutely be breaking down all things trade deadline. It is currently Wednesday. There's a few minor moves that have been
Fontecchio gone.
I don't even know who that guy is.
Kevin Knox. Gone.
He's having
Xavier Tillman to Boston.
Hey, that's a great move for them.
Kevin Knox is in Utah. Simone Fontecchio is in Detroit. 2 huge blockbuster trades.
Heck yeah.
How dare we not talk about that?
No, Tillman to Boston is that's slight, but that's a really good move for them.
Good bolster. It's a good bolster.
They miss Robert Williams.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. But I mean, I guess
Tillman is a step toward the Robert Williams direction, but it's not Robert Williams.
Right.
No, he's a great backup big though.
Yeah.
They're living off of him, just like, stopping the bleeding until Kristaps gets back in.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm expecting a flurry of moves tomorrow. Don't know how early they're going to start, but I'm pretty sure Thursday, as it typically pans out, will be pretty crazy, and we'll definitely be breaking that down. But yeah, we're in the thick of it with sports, so we'll have a lot to talk about. But yeah, until next time, until the next episode, we'll catch y'all. Peace.